Welcome to News Review with Omiada Line TV. I am Ayomiko, and with me in the studio I have Adeleke Mufi Folu and Adelere Oduaye.
Why do you have to call my son up like that?
Because I really needed the whole world to know that it is not just Mufi.
But you didn't say your own son.
I am Alao Ayomiko.
Wakala.
Thank you very much, girls, for joining me today. How are you doing?
Doing well.
It's been a very long day.
Long
I know, exactly.
day.
Well, you guys are still looking radiant as always.
As it should be.
Exactly. Okay, let's go to our newspaper for today. We have Punch amidst others. And we're starting with Punch. We have courts decline suit to stop CBN cash limit. And Atiku extols Seriki, says late envoy served Nigeria meritoriously. Abuja train crash, victim dies, police launch investigation. Federal government begins terrorist attack victim verification in plea 2. Oyetola took 18 billion naira loan after losing election at Adeleke. Afenifere group wants arm for Amotekun, backs Tinubu. Moving to the Vanguard newspaper, we have the following headlines. ICPC harrying civil servants over extortion forgery. NSCDC takes anti-cultism, anti-bullying to schools in Badagry. Feeding program, 9.9 million primary school pupils benefit daily, federal government. FEC okays 9.24 billion naira life insurance over cover for public servants. Moving to the Premium Times newspaper, Benue faces healthcare crisis after government scraps doctor placement program. Nigeria inflation rises for 10 straight months to 21.47%. Fuel scarcity. Petroleum marketers in Ogun State threatens to shut down outlets over DSS threats. The Guardian's newspaper have the following headlines. NSCDC set up anti-corruption unit ahead 2023 general election. Nigeria's elites stole 16.25 trillion naira crude oil in 12 years, says NEITI. The Nation's newspaper has this following headline. Gunmen attack Atiku Okowa youth mobilizer in Rivers. Lasma operatives nab fake traffic officer. Buhari's congratulatory message responsible for Morocco loss to France, Omokri. I think this last headline is quite funny because why would you say that our own presidents wishing a particular football team the reason they lost?
It's actually been true because of some
occurrences.
Yes, some past occurrences. You know, whenever he wishes anybody like that,
something happened.
They encounter bad luck.
The last time he wished Anthony Joshua when he lost the match that followed. This last time he wished the Nigerian Super Eagles. They lost their match. Okay. So the last time he wished Toby Amushon, she lost the world.
Okay.
So
it's now something that is occurring.
It is something that people have actually checked and like, if you want to maintain your victory, I don't think it is necessary you go and visit the president.
Anyway, let's go to our Hot Picks headlines for today. There are several headlines that are very hot, but then there are some major ones that draw the concern of Wisdom Yard Online TV and we've decided to review. The first one is Afenifere Group wants arm for Amotekun, backs Tinubu. The Afenifere Renewal Group has called on the federal government to remove all obstacles affecting the supply of the use of arms by the Western Nigeria Security Network that is being codenamed as Amotekun. So they believe that due to the insurgencies in Nigeria, the kidnapping here and there, the farmers and herders shouldn't be, and even artisans shouldn't be bearing the whole of the burden because they are feeling like Nigeria should just approve them of having necessary ammunition so that they can work hand in hand with the police and other security forces in order to get to the destined goal that Nigeria wants to let go of anything that has to do with insecurity. And on the other hand, he added that the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, should be supported and voted for in the 2023 general election. So he's trying to tell us that the chairman actually is trying to tell us that they are approving Bola Ahmed Tinubu as their own candidate. So, Odun, what do you say to the whole of this knows.
You see, thank you very much. They endorsing Tinubu as the presidential candidate. Everybody is entitled to his own opinion.
Yeah, sure.
But the part of they should provide arms for this Amotekun stuff, I think is a good one. They're actually a security agent, sure. And I don't think it is okay if a security agent is actually working and does not have anything to protect his or herself, not talk of protecting the lives of the people. So they're clamoring that they should remove all obstacles to provide this arm for them is a good one. But they're coming out and say, I don't think they actually say people should vote for Tinubu. They just endorsed Tinubu.
They endorsed and said that the presidential candidate should be supported and voted for.
It is who they want. They wanted as the president of the come 2023. They voiced out their own opinion. So. And the other one requesting for arms for the Amotekun is a good one. I think federal government should work on it and provide arms for them.
Yeah, thank you very much. Moving follow.
Yeah, ever since the establishment of Amotekun, for the South here, they've actually been doing a great job. Somebody was talking to me last week that she went to a particular church and she met the Amotekun guards. They were the ones guarding the church. So my point exactly now is they are doing a very good job. Talk about when you have kidnap cases, they rescue some victims, they help to curb criminalities to a reasonable extent in the society. And I think the only reason the federal government is not allowing them to be armed is due to the fact that they are not working for the federal. They only belong to a particular region, and I'm very sure in no time they will spread across the country because they're actually doing a very good job. And they deal with some traditional. How do I put it now? They use some people believe they use juju.
Yeah, they use traditional means.
Yes, to capture their victims or suspects or anybody that is found doing any criminal act. I think that's one of the reasons the federal government doesn't want to, make them armed. But they are security agents and they are working well. Let's assume ever since they've been established, they've been doing a lot of misconduct, bad conduct. In fact, if they are contributing to the migrants in the society, they are still contributing to the insecurity, contributing to a lot of things that we feel they are not good in the society, then the federal government can deny them access to, guns and all of those things. If probably they would use this for something else rather than protecting the people. However, they've been doing a very good job, and it's no big deal if they, arm them and make them so that it will even make their works more efficient. They'll be able to do their jobs very well, and they'll be more productive. And Afenifere is saying they are endorsing Tinubu. I mean, it's their choice. Everybody has been endorsing whichever candidate they want, and Afenifere is not exempted. So that's just.
And like you said now, you said it is a good thing that they are given necessary ammunition.
Yeah.
But what if they get this necessary ammunition and they start using it? Like you said they make use of traditional means of capturing. They don't go theoretical or practical.
No. That's what I said. I think they do. I'm not even sure.
Okay.
And even in their operations, they have guns.
Okay.
They have all these local guns. So all they need is just advanced tools, advanced ammunition to carry out their works productively.
The same thing I'm still saying is, what if they now, maybe it's because they've just been doing all good because they have with them an inferior weapon. What if they get a good one and they start doing something against the country, attacking people,
We have people among this placement too that do things by themselves with the ammunitions provided for them by the government. So I can't really say that every one of them will actually work for the betterment of the country with that thing, but at least a larger percentage of them would actually work, and they need more lectures. They need orientation on how to use it, what is it. And if they discover that this particular person is using this thing for his or her own selfish interest, or using it against the rules that it was set up for, then such a person should be persecuted.
And if they do, like you just said, it is very easy for the federal government to withdraw every license that has been given to them.
Yeah, sure.
So the federal government that give it to them in the first place, so it can be easily withdrawn, it can easily be taken aback from them. So it's just
Yeah, thank you very much. Let's now move to the second hot pick for today. We have Oyetola took 18 billion naira loan after losing election claimed by Adeleke. Adeleke explained this during a meeting with the traditional rulers at Oshogbo earlier today, and he said that the Osun State that the past governor, that is Boyega Oyetola, took 18 billion naira loan after he lost the July 16th, 2022 Osun governorship election. And so as of now, Osun State is owing nothing less than 407.32 billion. And all of this does not have a fixed payment scheme. And even he borrowed the money, and most of all the money that has been borrowed for one thing or the other, in one project or the other. Like there's bridge loan, there is budget facility, budget support facility, there's salary bailout loan, restructured commercial bank loan, amongst others.
That's very bad.
So basically,
I must say that is very bad. It was enough that he employed thousands of people when he knew he already lost the election. Trying to leave the next government in debt. That was even enough. Thank God Adeleke was able to, resolve all of those things and sort those people amicably without anybody getting hurt or anything. That's just by the way. Now we are now discovering that after. If this was before he lost the election, would have said he was hoping that, of course, I would emerge as the governor again and rerun the whatever and pay these loans. It was after he lost the election. It's a deliberate action. He's just trying to put Adeleke in debt, in trouble, because at the end of the day, they will not be able to pay workers' salary. They will start owing. He will not even be able to continue with everything he has promised the people of Osun. All the infrastructure is supposed to give them, all the basic amenities. It would not be able to do it because, okay, is it expected to go and borrow another loan? Fine, if his administration goes out to borrow from other people, the ones that had been left by Oyetola is expected to pay them off.
Exactly.
Now, if let's say it does not even pay them off, he now goes ahead to borrow another one. How is he even going to pay that same one he just borrowed? That's just that same. It is man that makes man bad. I don't know how to usually say that thing. I'm sorry if you don't understand Yoruba, but that's just the best way I can express myself right now, because that is very, very bad. You knew you already lost the election, you now went ahead to borrow, it's just a misconduct that should not be condoned.
Exactly.
It was what he did was something like, I needed to punish this person. Like, this person has offended me and I needed to be here. Because according to, I think what was in the news, the debt will be paid for 28 years.
Yes, exactly.
So obviously,
even if it was to...
That's it. Obviously, if he were to come again as the next governor of that state, he's not going to finish the debt. Okay, fine. Adeleke has emerged. Using 4 years, he's not going to finish the debt.
Exactly.
Let's say he has another 8 years, 4 years added to it, he's not going to finish the debt. So the man is like, he purposely did everything he did to the next governor coming in. Not to talk of you are going to leave that post on the 29th of next month. You are employing workers 2 days before you left. Now, you have billions of naira that you've actually borrowed. Later, now, the workers will be like, this governor, if the man had not spoken out, if Adeleke had not spoken out right now that this was the amount he borrowed, this is the debt on ground, people will feel like this man is not working, he's not paying workers' salary, he's not capable, why did you vote him in? I think that was why he came out to express himself. This is what I met on ground, though. We are going to work. I did not say we are not going to work, but this is the debt on our neck right now. I think the last thing he said, the money he met in the account was last month's salary. Exactly. That was apart from that, there was nothing else again.
Do you know the most annoying of all this? We can't pinpoint to exactly what Oyetola did
with the money.
But there's a kind of reason to borrowing the money. There is budget support facility. There is salary bailout loan. There is restructured commercial bank loan. There is excess crude account loan. There is restructured commercial bank loan, excess crude account loan, federal governments of Nigeria bridge finance facilities.
See, if you want to borrow
loans,
you would have reasons for doing anything.
All these things are
I have a question.
All right.
And my question is that the banks, the commercial banks, the agencies, the facilities that borrowed Oyetola the money, they are to be blamed. Why will you borrow someone that you obviously know that, like, he's not borrowing the money for his pocket, he's borrowing the money on behalf of Osun State, and you know that this particular person, as at that time he's borrowing the money, is on the losing end. That is not even
as when he borrowed the money, he was still the governor of that.
Yes, but he has already, the election has already
till 12 o'clock a.m.
now
on that inauguration.
That person borrowed money to be repaid in 28 years.
Aside that, what we should ask is what is used as collateral. Because if you go to banks to borrow any money,
I think there's a way they
do it for government.
All right. What I was going to say, if you go to bank, of course, you need a collateral before they can borrow you money. And they know that this person is a state governor. They know that, of course, revenues will be generated in the state. And we don't know what channel he used in borrowing this money. It could even be that it was not once, or it was not even one particular bank. It could have been split.
Exactly, it's not a particular.
Anyway, so if he actually borrowed from a particular bank, probably a commercial bank, they would have said, Mr. Governor, don't you think this money you are borrowing is too much? But of course, it must have gone through many channels, many banks to borrow to secure the debt on the next government. And this is not even on Adeleke alone. This is for the next 28 years.
Exactly.
Even if they pay the money as stipulated, it will still last for the next 28 years.
The thing is, he just did it deliberately. I know I lost this thing already, but I won't be the only one suffering. Everybody will suffer.
At the end of the day, Osun State is in.
So the state is basically the state is basically living on debt. They don't have anything to say this is ours.
They need to generate revenue, and at the same time, at least to patch some things. They need some money. Everybody will be fine. This is Nigeria. Okay, feeding program, 9.9 million primary school pupil benefits daily. Federal government. The federal government yesterday explained that 9.9 million children are currently being fed nationwide under the National Homegrown School Feeding Program. Speaking in Akure during the disbursement of money to the poor and vulnerable individuals in Ondo State under the Grants for Vulnerable Group program, a component of this National Social Investment Program, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs actually said that the president should be applauded because he has approved. So the president should be applauded because he has approved the program and that another 5 million children will be added. But one thing that is quite not clear to me is that I don't know this particular state in which these things happen. But my own state and the schools I see around, even the public schools, I don't see any feeding.
I've not seen any feeding.
Actually, when they started the whole program, I know at least I've had a personal experience. There's this particular woman, I wouldn't mention the state and the school now. She leaves home every day. She goes to the school. No, I think they give them money. This is it. They give them the money. Okay, you are expected to cook a bag of rice, for instance, per day. You are expected to bring it to the school. They feed the pupils every afternoon.
Wow.
Yes, it happened in Ogun State. It happened in some other states as well, which I am very, very sure of. But there was no continuity to it. It happened for a while, and of course they stopped. See, the problem we have in Nigeria is, you see our government, sometimes they have good plans for us. In fact, not sometimes, they all claim they have good plans for us. I mean, feeding pupils every afternoon. You know, when Yorubas, I'm sorry, I'm just going. When hunger is out, exactly. When you are not hungry, every other thing is okay. And an hungry man is an angry man. So if they feed these children every afternoon, in fact, it will make them focus in class. Those that their parents can't afford basic things, they will be rest assured that my son will eat
in the afternoon,
will take lunch in school in the afternoon. So it's still part of trying to help the economy, trying to help the masses. However, of course, I don't think Buhari wouldn't have disbursed the money totally.
Okay.
It's not like he's going to say, okay, I'm giving you guys half, go and solve the remaining half. It's not possible. So I want to believe that if he was to spend 100 million naira on it, he must have given it out. Now the problem now is those in charge of the whole program, those that are supposed to, share the money out. The implementation of the whole program. That's the problem.
Right now, what is shocking me right now is the fact that another 5 million has been added. It used to be 9.9 million.
Now they'll be 14.5.
This is how many are we in Nigeria? When 9.9 million is being fed, and I've not even seen one physically. Like I've not even come across, at least there should still be a child in my that will be like, I heard something at least, or I should just see. But I've not even seen it. I've not seen. The only places I've seen is those on the shows, the television that they used to advertise that our government, the works of our government, of which there's not any direct contact. You get my point? So another 5 million is adding to it, making it
not 5 million naira, 5 million.
5 million people.
Yeah. I understand what Ayomiko is saying because I have not also witnessed. I have not seen one, so I won't say I've seen when I have not actually seen any. And according to what she said, that the government, she's 100% sure that the government would have disbursed the money. Yeah. I've been in the kind of situation like that before.
Okay.
That they would disburse you, working for like, okay, you're working for like 3 months, and the 3 months your salaries are ready. Now, let me just say, you have to be from federal government. They said it's 40,000 naira. Okay. Now, when you got to where you wanted to collect the money, they're telling you that it is 30,000 naira. Okay. You heard it is 40. Okay, fine. It is 30,000 naira. Where is the 30,000 naira? You come back today, come back tomorrow. So they've actually spent the money trying to raise and down. That is why continuity is not actually working again. They have to scrap that program that I did. Then they have to scrap it because they were not paying people up and people were already complaining. So I feel what is actually wrong now, like I said, I have not seen, continuity is actually the problem because she said she's someone in Ogun and it did not continue. So they need to really work in that aspect. Like, they shouldn't just because at the end of the day, we all blame the federal government.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If we go forth, go back, we are going to bring the blame on the federal government, not knowing that the federal government that actually disbursed everything. All these things that are happening, there's revenue, local governments will take from state or how they do it, I don't know, from federal government to state to local to all these things. Yeah, sure. So, I don't think the fault is from federal government right now. It should be from those that actually collected it and at the grassroots. So
I think
it's we that ourselves that we are doing ourselves with our hands.
My own is that whenever there is any government work, government implementation, government program, fine, there is a program. You should see it to the latter. You should monitor.
Yes.
Like, okay, there should be a kind of check and balances. Yeah. There should be a kind of a particular ombudsman, so to say. So there should be something that will report. Okay, fine. Every month, Ogun State needs to report the schools that have been fed with pictures.
Do you know that is actually possible?
Okay.
It's possible that they actually give reports every month.
How do they get the report?
It's possible. Aren't we in Nigeria?
The thing is, they know this person cannot come himself to do it.
You obviously send somebody.
Yeah, that is why I would always, I don't know if I will always commend one government, that is Amotekun. If he gives out any project, he's always there to check it himself. But he's
he can't go to every primary school.
And you will see, I'm not talking about the food stuff now, I'm like project, all this infrastructure, all this, he's always there. And you will see him, he will tell you that I am giving you this money, not that you will spend it. So you will do something. At least if you would do it, and this thing is not going to last, let us see that you actually did this thing. So if they are going to feed pupils, and they know that this money is too much to feed them, at least let them know that they actually ate something out of this thing. Let it continue, even if it is just biscuit and suya or pure water, they will know that they actually took something.
Now the problem is these people in charge, they have their own commission.
Yeah.
For being in charge of the people that will monitor the children being fed, or you have your own commission. It's not like they're not getting paid. So if they were not getting paid, we would have said you ask them to go and work and you're not giving them any form of
commission,
or yes. But they're getting paid. What's the problem? What's the problem with these people? They just make life so difficult for the masses and we can't even do anything. The masses can't do anything. The only thing we do is talk about,
just shout, rant and
at the end of the day, every problem that we have in Nigeria is not just the government.
No, we ourselves.
When we talk about Nigeria is bad, we have bad leaders. We are the leaders.
Yeah.
We are the one causing the whole of the havoc. we are the one making life more difficult for one another. And I hope we just come to a resolution. We'll think about it. Basic things that the government just wants to do for us, we should try in our own possible way to look for how we can make it happen for the grassroots. We shouldn't be inflicting suffering on one another. But before we continue, please let's go on a short commercial break, after which we'll be right back. Please do not leave that place.
Sweetheart. I can't afford to be late for this meeting.
Give me the same excuse every day.
I always tell you the truth every... You know I will never disappoint you.
Everyone needs a hero like Nokpa.
After Nokpa,
it is always Nokpa.
Nokpa for management of power.
You're welcome back, and it's still news review on Wisdom Yard Online TV. I still have many beautiful babies in the studio. Other babies. For people who are not doing, you can say you're laughing like.
When you called me baby.
Are you not the baby? Okay, let's move to the next topic for today. We have Benue faces healthcare crisis after government scraps doctor placement program. There's a particular program that is known for that they tend to sponsor medical students in return for serving the public hospitals in the Benue State Healthcare facility. But then government has decided to cut that off. They scrapped that 5 years after, and 5 years after, the problem is now what they are facing now. According to the report, all of the general hospitals, like the state hospitals, the basic general hospitals, so to say, in the state, are now having 2 doctors. And the 2 doctors are to cater for thousands of population. An example is Ohime local government area with a population of 71,482 and having just 2 doctors in the whole of the facility. And that is just one amongst others. You know, fine, we've been hearing that our doctors are traveling, you know, looking for greener pasture, but I don't think it should be this bad.
That's easy.
Why will thousands of people be left to just 2 doctors? Like
those 2 doctors is because they don't have opportunity to actually leave.
That's the height of
because
it.
Once they have the
2
opportunity,
doctors.
they will also leave, and there will not be any doctor to actually attend to
but
patients.
What will it cause the federal
Why
government?
did they scrap such a program?
What will exactly to just leave the program and let the people benefit from it?
It could be that, I'm sorry, it could be that so the particular government that brought in the idea, okay guys, let's sponsor these people. They will, and according to the news I read, when they sponsor them, they're expected to come back to that state to work for them. So it's not like the state government to sponsor you, go and work somewhere else. You're still coming back. It's for them. So probably the government that proposed it left the office, and then somebody else came and said, I cannot be wasting money on some students that might not even be relevant in future. Let me just scrap the whole program. Now it's telling on them. Yeah. How do you expect 2 people,
76,000
to attend to thousands of people? Now, if people start dying in general hospitals, if a lot of diseases start breaking out, a lot of things, they will not be blaming it on those doctors that they are not competent, they are not capable, they are this, they are that.
Just for reference, the hospital, general hospital that has the highest number of doctors has 3.
So I thought you wanted to say they had 10.
So that you can just know in the whole of in various local governments, that's the height of it.
In our country, in our states, there are particular sector that we really need to look after. We really need to work on them. Security, health, education.
Exactly.
You see, those 3, they are vital to the society. If our hospitals are actually okay, these government people won't be traveling out of the country for medical care. They won't be traveling out of the country for medical checkup. Okay, fine, we have a general hospital where 2 doctors are attending to thousands of people. Obviously, they can't attend to everybody.
Of course.
So we have, on a daily basis, they did not just put it in the news, on a daily basis, people would die.
Of course.
Due to, there's no doctor to attend to me. would somebody is attending, okay, is attending to a patient, and a patient that is on oxygen, his child is gasping, how is he going to leave one for
same
another?
Same doctor would perform surgery,
same doctor would perform medical checkup and all
that's
that.
why we
all
have
things,
fake nurses around.
all these
Because
things
people just want to survive. When I go to a chemist, they will prescribe me drugs instead of
over the
giving me
counter
headache, drugs that work for my headache. They'll
give me
give me
stomach
drug
pain.
for ulcer. It's not their fault. They are not learning, and people need to live. People need to get drugs. They need to survive.
They need healthcare.
They need
All these
healthcare.
things
Thank
need
you.
to be
So
put
they
in
will run
check.
to fake nurses, fake midwives. People will start dying, and a lot of things will be happening, and we will still all come together to blame it on the federal government. Federal government is not providing this.
Everything
Now
is
imagine
federal
what is happening in Benue State. This is a typical example of how the country is failing Nigerians. Because I can't even imagine. Okay, fine. Let's now assume that you already scrapped the program. Okay, we don't have enough money to. You can't employ doctors again.
They can.
It seems that the state government does not have enough money to employ doctors.
This is why the
We
students
understand
are
that they're
actually
even less paid. You owe doctors salary. You do this, you do that. You're not even. See, this country is just. Mr. Francis was saying yesterday that we are supposed to stay in the country.
Exactly. When
Saving
UK
country.
actually opened doors for teachers.
people like them will actually run away when they get the opportunity.
And exactly,
Just
that's
don't
the-
let
I'm sure
anybody-
a doctor that has the opportunity to run to the UK would disguise as a teacher. Actually, they will treat
that's something. These 2 or 3 doctors that actually they don't have the opportunity to go yet.
Or they just feel that they still want to be patriotic.
No, some are
There are
like
some
that.
Where they
that
actually
just-
said their oath is an hypocrite also. I don't know how they even call it. Their
Like I just feel like they might actually just want to feel. They feel like
If everybody
if I should go,
Who
what
would remain?
Because I can't even.
Good
Okay, let's even forget about a general hospital now. When I was an undergraduate in my school,
Okay.
I
Health
can
center.
during examination period, I know how students are being rushed
They will
to
faint.
the health center. Not to now talk of, okay, let's not say that particular health center as just
Nobody.
One.
or nobody.
Nobody.
Even that health center has more than 2 doctors.
Yeah.
Not to now talk of a general hospital that will still
Yeah.
take care for, maybe pregnant women, the emergency.
The anatomy
need to
department
check.
is there. The
Different-
Radiology is
Gyneco-
there. They need to check it.
It's
They really
the
need to
item.
check it.
I just feel like Nigeria should do better.
Benue
And when
State should do better.
Nigeria should do better because
All states.
the reason doctors are leaving the country is because they are underpaid.
Yeah.
If I'm underpaid in Ogun State, I can decide to go to
Lagos
Osun
State.
State if Osun State is better.
Yeah.
But nowhere is better. Even if I should go to Lagos State, it's not like it's anywhere better. But I just want to survive as a doctor in Nigeria. Where do I go to? So Nigeria should just make every of the necessary things available.
Yeah.
Both the facilities and the personnel. It's enough to have the facilities. It's enough to have.
those that will
So
actually
let them
utilize
work
it.
hand in hand, and they should be rewarded
Is it the
for what they are
hospitals
doing.
that doesn't have doctors that would have equipment?
Facts. God be with us as always. Okay, moving on. Nigeria's elite stole 16.25 trillion naira crude oil in 12 years, says NEITI. About 619.7 million barrels of crude oil, valued at $46.16 billion in dollars, or 16.25 trillion naira, have been stolen in the last 12 years. And the Nigerian Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative has said that they will work hand in hand with the federal government in order to identify and investigate crude oil theft in the country, adding that the development has worsened since the nation's crude oil output has the stabilized budget and the economic plans. I feel this is just back to what happened, what we discussed yesterday about the fuel scarcity. We are talking about fuel scarcity here and there, and now there is record of over 619.7 million barrels of crude oil being stolen. So according to those people, they've already said that it is something that they identify that is being conspired by different elites of the country.
Not even the poor man.
Not the masses. Because I used to feel that because what they say is that vandalization of pipeline.
But
so
now
we want to believe that it is the masses that are hungry that are doing that. But right now, based on their investigation, they've identified that it is some elites that are conspiring to loot the only resources, like the major resources that we have in Nigeria that we still rely upon And I feel that's just like Nigeria deteriorating in many areas.
Because I don't know what they would say their problem is actually. Is it money you want, you have this thing? Is it fame you want, you have this thing? Now calling this millions, am I saying millions? Trillions of naira.
Exactly.
And at first, when they talked about all this pipeline vandalism at Port Harcourt, I thought it was all these hoodlums, all these. Okay, fine. They make use of these people to actually get this thing. But if they're actually saying this thing is actually getting bad in Nigeria, I don't think it is people like them that should be found there. People that would actually thought we can rest our back on. They like Yoruba will say if you did do shewa, Eguto Walara is more than 400. So the person I want to rest my back on is actually having thorns all over his body. So what do we say about it? It's not something.
I think it's just very important for everybody to understand that these people don't care about us. They don't care. They only care about themselves.
At the end of the day, those that are suffering this fuel scarcity
is the poor masses.
See, using this country, sometimes when I talk, I tend to take it personal because it's actually personal. I'm part of this country. I'm a Nigerian, so and these things I'm getting affected by them. Now we are saying there is fuel scarcity, this and that. The economy is bad, and you guys, you have this money. They did not say the masses, or they did not say the poor. We would have said it is poverty that is making them do it. Now you people are rich enough to even disburse things, to even help the poor, to help the masses, but no, you guys are so greedy.
Trillion.
And it is you we found in this crude oil theft and all of those things, which is very, very bad. Now, do we need to start admonishing the elites to please stop doing this, stop stealing the credits, so that it will be in circulation for everybody? Is that what we are supposed to start doing? We understand the fact that even the vandalization of a thing, you people still use the less privileged, those that are vulnerable, those that are poor, poverty has stricken their life, they don't even have hope for tomorrow. We understand that, but why? See, this country is just, we still narrows back to bad leadership. Because we shouldn't deceive ourselves. You see these elites, they call themselves, they're actually politicians. Because they're the ones that knows whatever is going on in the country. They are the ones that have the right, the opportunity to, command, what do I call it now? They are the ones that will tell people what to do. You get it? They are the ones that will command people to do this and that. Of course, they have the power to do these things. So why are they making it difficult for us? We understand that fine, if you want to become the governor, you promise us things. We know that you will still go and steal our money. We are not even angry. Still don't let it affect anybody. Let everybody be off. Yes. So I don't know.
At times when I hear that a governor actually embezzles this kind of money, I'll be like, your salary, your wardrobe allowance, all these things, are they not enough for you? Feeding allowance, their traveling expenses, everything is settled.
Sitting allowance.
That they even attend any meeting, they have the amount that they are collecting. The fact
that they breathe in and breathe out.
Now, after collecting everything that we've mentioned, you still go ahead and embezzle money that you are supposed to use in helping the poor masses. It is not good.
And you know one other thing that breaks my heart? You see, there's no day in Nigeria you don't hear bad news. Before you can hear somebody got wedded, somebody did this, somebody graduated, like thousands of bad news.
Kidnapping.
Which is the major thing that is even breaking my own heart. I don't know. This country is just a mess.
Everybody will be alright.
And one thing I just want to say is that it is so regrettable that at this particular time in Nigeria's economy, of which it is largely dependent on this crude oil for survival, at least there are still some certain people that are colliding and corroding and conspiring to steal the country's major resource. I feel it's something that is so bad, and I just feel they come to their sense. And these people should not just give us audio figures.
Yeah,
we really need them to work. Bring these people to justice. It's not it's enough that you're telling us that okay, we've identified this thief. This person is a fraud. This person is this. This person is that. Bring them to justice. Bring them to book, and they should. And exactly, they should bring them to justice. It shouldn't just be that you telling us that okay, we caught. No, we don't.
Bringing them to justice is actually a lot of work.
It's not supposed to be a lot of work.
It's not supposed to be a lot. Now, you remember about 2 weeks, 3 weeks back, and consequently we're hearing this state governor, this aspirant, this clinical has been arrested for clinical.
And that's everything we hear. That's just the last thing we hear. We don't hear anything.
That's the problem. Continuing.
So that was why I said.
Continue.
That was why I said bringing them to justice is actually a very big problem, because they'll just tell us we've arrested Mr. Jale Koko. After then, nothing else.
I just really pray that Nigeria starts working. Every time I pray Nigeria doesn't happen to me, but then it's just better if Nigeria starts working. We really need to revive Nigeria so that we can also have some belief in Nigeria. But right now, all on God. Moving to the last of our hot picks today, we have gunmen attack Atiku Okowa youth mobilizer in Rivers. A campaigner of the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, identified as Mr. Reno, has been shot by gunmen suspected by thugs. I actually saw the video of this man and I felt it's so bad. It's so bad. Because I could just I can just imagine how excruciating is feeling, the pain that he's feeling, because the gun was shot as his windscreen and it then made it's just something for viewers.
When I was saying that from one problem to another, from one bad news to another one. I mean, it's just it was not recorded that he offended anybody
because he belonged to a particular party.
Before you continue, I just want to bring this forward that earlier he has actually been abducted by thugs, and they've actually told him to denounce his partnership with a particular party, which is the People's Democratic Party, and he did not. He was proving.
So it is his mouth that they felt, the mouth that we have to use.
I feel that's
politically minded.
We need to understand that I can support whoever I want to. It's none of your business. I mean, if I decide to create AMO party, Ayomiku Mofifolo party today, and we have supporters that wants to contest for the presidency 20 whatever. It's none of your business. Let people support whatever party they want to support. The fact that somebody is supporting Atiku, you want to kill the man.
This is where we talk about freedom in Nigeria.
There's no freedom.
You can say there's freedom of movement, there's freedom of, but your freedom is not guaranteed after you do that particular thing that you said you wanted to do. Now this person is actually with his full heart, with his whole body, telling that I'm supporting this person, and you are telling him, okay, fine, you kidnapped him, telling him to denounce. He refused. Now, I don't even if they do any surgery on that mouth, I'm looking at how that mouth is going to be.
The look is just.
When I saw it too, I was just like, what's this? Because I support a particular party. You should go for a facial plastic surgery.
My own advice to the man, to the aspirant, is that denounce PDP. Say that I don't want. In fact, I leave PDP with my life. Deny everything. After the whole election, you go back to your party. Be one handicap, Abi. Because if you die, people continue.
Obviously, we know this is actually politically minded. It is an opposition party. The party that did it, we don't know, but it is politically minded.
The police have started investigation, necessary investigation on the matter, and the victim has been taken to an undisclosed hospital. So
they will go and kill him. They will go and kill him. Finish.
So I just hope he recuperates in time and it gets better.
Amen.
But one thing Yoruba will say that no matter how bad or how recuperating the scar can
never be like your skin. Let me help you say
so it's just like that. But I just wish him the best of recovery. Thank you very much for joining us today. And before we go, please make sure that you get your PVC. It is very important. Your vote is your major duty. It's your right as an individual of this country. And it is good that you exercise your franchise, because that is just how you can have a say in the country. So the same way you are saying you don't want this government is doing this,
it is only your vote that can
you can't just say it by words. You need to go there to give your action by voting in the person you feel would do it better. And please don't let anybody deceive you by buying your voter's card. It is not yours. It is your identification. It's a means of identification, and it is what you own as your inheritance in Nigeria, so to say. So if you don't have it, you don't have any inheritance. So let's just put it that way, in a layman way.
So your card is your life.
It's your life.
And if it is not important, they won't give you money for it.
Exactly.
So obviously it is very, very important.
Very, very important. And don't let anybody buy it from you.
Yeah.
And when you get to the polling booth, you want to vote for your conscience.
Don't say anything.
Don't
just go and vote.
Don't sell your vote, rather. And I hope everything gets better in Nigeria.
Amen.
But in the meantime, before it gets better, Nigeria will not happen to us.
Amen.
I remain Alao Ayomiko, and I still have Omimofi follow and Oduayo. Do well to be happy and stay happy every time.
Happy and
This is Wisdom Yard Online TV. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow our social media platform. Bye.